Hello and welcome to the Craftsman Show. My name is your host, the Craftsman. I hope you're doing good today. In today's video, we're going to talk about how that you can go from this figurine and take it and make a copy out of plastic resin. Got a rocket pack. In my previous video, I showed y'all how to make a figure from sketch to sculpt, and we made it out of epoxy clay. Now that I've got my figure fully made, I would like to make some copies of it. How that you can do that is with a mold. This right here is a product from Smooth On. Smooth On is a company that makes, I don't know how many things they make. They make silicone, plastic resins. I look at that site in my mind get discombobulated. But the one I like right here is this one called Mold Star. And I like this particular one, Mold Star 15 Slow, because it's slow. And that means it takes a while to cure. It comes in two parts, a part A and a part B. And when you mix these two together, then that's when it's going to start curing. But what I like about it is you got a long time. Look at this right here, Mold Star 15 Slow. It's got a pot life of 50 minutes and a cure time of 4 hours. What the difference between that is, the pot life, that's basically you got that much time that when you mix the A and B together, you got 50 minutes to get it poured around your character, whatever you're making a mold of. And then the 4 hours cure time, basically when you can take it out the mold, that's when it's fully cured into a rubber that you can pop your sculpture out of the mold. The reason why I like a long pot life is because I like to degas my silicone molds. What degassing is you use a vacuum chamber and a little vacuum pump, and it pulls the vacuum on it and gets out all the bubbles and things like that. The reason why is it results in the smoothest, most solidified mold that you can do, because if you don't do it, sometimes you might have bubbles in your mold. Notice that the mix ratio is 1A to 1B by weight or volume. However much of the A you got, you make the same amount of the B. I'm going to show y'all that right now. I'm going to pour the A part. And now it's time to pour the B part. Look how neat that is. This should be about as close as possible to 1-to-1, A to B. Now we're just going to mix it like crazy. You want to scrape along the edges of the sides, and to make sure that you get it all mixed up good. And it's going to be a little messy right here. This is how come I wear gloves all the time. What I'm doing right now is just put me some little bit of tape around this. The reason I'm doing that is because anytime you pull a vacuum on something like this, it's going to bubble up. And it might come out over the edge of this cup. So therefore, this will give me a little extra protection from it all bubbling out. I'm going to set it down into the pressure chamber like this. As you can see, I've used this chamber several times. Look how messy it is. Alright. So now we got the silicone in the chamber ready to go. I got my vacuum pump right here. We about to fire it up. It's about to get loud. I've got the character already glued down into the bottom of this cup, and this is going to form the mold right here. This is the point when I start to wonder if I added enough silicone. I start to get a little bit nervous if it ain't gonna go to the top of the character. I want y'all to look at this conglomeration right here. I ran out of cups. This is small enough. I just ran some tape around a little Elmer, rubber cement Elmer glue thing container. All right, after about 4 hours of curing, this what it look like. See that? Look at that. Start peeling this away. Look at that. I put me a brand new blade up on this thing. Because when you're cutting silicone, it might be soft, but it's very tough to cut. I try not to go in and push too hard. I don't want to scratch against the original model. And on that middle part like that, I just do a straight cut. Now sometimes if people's going to cut far down in it, they'll do a zigzag cut. Like if I was going to cut all the way down this, I would do a zigzag like that. And the reason why is so it locked back in place. Let's see what happened here. Do y'all see that? And now I think it's about enough that we can go ahead and try to tug on it, see if we can get it out. And I'm pushing with my fingertips. I'm pushing up on the bottom like this at the same time. I might need to cut it down a little bit more. And then we got that comb. It's gonna be the main. That comb piece gonna be the main thing holding it in. But now then, talking about I can breathe now. And there we go. We got us a mold of the character. This right here is optional. This is called a mold release. And what that does, the plastic will come out easier. You want to coat the inside as best that you can. Anytime that you have to split your mold like this, what you want to do before you pour your plastic resin is to line it up and then take you some rubber bands around it, and you want it to not be too tight around it because you don't want it to warp it. When I make my plastic figures, although I use many different smooth on products, the Smoothcast 65D is the one I probably use the most. You can mix a 1-to-1 by volume, and that's easy because you can just eyeball it in a cup. Another reason I like the 65D is because you can Rotocast with it. And what that means is that you can pour your plastic down up into here and you can cover this up and then you just rotate it all around like as 360 as you can. And what that means, look at this hanging off of here. Let's get that. Anyway, so you can rotate it. And what that means is you can create a shell, a plastic shell. So that means you don't have to use a solid chunk of plastic. In my case, I'm just going to make it all solid. I'm going to pour it until it comes up, fills up to the top. And we just going to go with that. This video is not brought to you by Smooth On because I never contacted them. I just buy their stuff. If y'all buy something through my links below, then it does not cost you anything extra. But Amazon give me a little few cents every time, and over the month the transaction adds up and it helps me a lot. So thank y'all. So it's very simple. A part, B part, 1-to-1. You will need you a couple cups. The Smoothcast 65D has a pot life of 2.5 minutes and a cure time 10 to 15 minutes. Basically what that means is you got to haul butt with this. Excuse me what I said, you got to go fast. With anything I gotta pour, I go ahead and get it ready. And sometimes I'll be pouring too much, so get out anything that you can. If you got a little knick-knack, in this case I got a little jet back paddywhack that I gotta do, but if you have some little extra pieces that you want to cast, always have an extra little mold just in case I got extra, because I hate to waste resin. But today I just got these two things ready. I'm just gonna dump this into here, and then you got to go with it. All right, go with it. You got to mix this thing up real good. Scrape the sides, scrape the bottom. Try not to get too crazy and get bubbles in it. Pour just a little bit at first, and then shake it all around a little bit. Go ahead and pour me some more in it. Now, we're going to see if we can get a good cast without using the pressure pot. Look right here. As you can see, it's going from clear to a white plastic. It's metamorphosizing right before our very eyes. Look at this. All right, I done took the rubber bands off of this, and we're gonna see how it turned out. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, snap. And look, there's sometimes I might want to do a two-part mold. That ain't too bad though. A couple of places, but that's not too terrible. Hello. And now the fun part. We get to put together the figure. When y'all wasn't looking, I went over and drilled a little hole in the back like I was supposed to. Now she ready to go. The free-range chicken. I'm done laying eggs. I'm about wore out. I'm out of here. Oh, hit my light. Almost broke my China ball lantern. I done put a dent up in it. Then you go and just make you a couple more of them. Look at them. They're ready. And that concludes another edition of the Craftsman Show. I just wanted to show y'all how that you can make your own copies out of a durable plastic resin. Thank y'all so much for watching this. If y'all didn't know about it, I got a Patreon. If y'all want to support me, I appreciate everybody right now that has gone over there and said, here, Craftsman, I'm going to give you $1 every month, $5. It helps us to pay the bills, helps us to keep doing these videos. Y'all got me to where I'm trying to do a video every week, yet I still enjoy it. I'm still having fun doing it, so y'all don't worry about that. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Y'all be blessed and keep steady crafting.